Like, cause like I said, like, people gonna talk, people gonna make up stuff, people gonna say things. That's just a part of the game. You know what I mean? People have said the most craziest shit about people all the time.
But you just get tired of like bro, I don't want to see naked men, bro. That's my preference, though. I'm allowed to have that preference.
Did Jermaine Dupri just get exposed for his alleged involvement in Diddy's rumored dealings with young stars? The internet is ablaze with whispers of a leaked tape that reportedly unveils shocking details about what really went down at those infamous parties. If these claims hold even a shred of truth, this could spell a career-ending scandal for some of the biggest names in the music industry. So what's really going on? And why is Jermaine Dupri reportedly in full panic mode? Stick around because we're diving deep into all the messy details. And trust me, this tea is scalding. Adding fuel to the fire, Bow Wow's recent comments about missing Diddy's parties didn't sit well with many people, especially in light of the darker revelations that have been surfacing about what really happened at those infamous events. On the surface, Bow Wow seemed to be reminiscing about the good old days of lavish celebrity gatherings. But with so many individuals coming forward with horrifying stories of their experiences at these so-called parties, it's no surprise people were quick to give him the side-eye.
We ain't going. He was just such a gatekeeper for him. The liquor in the clubs, he was everything.
But that's not all. Bow Wow didn't just casually mention missing Diddy's parties. He went as far as crediting Diddy for teaching him the lifestyle. Let's be real. In an industry where the lifestyle often means cozying up to the rich and powerful in exchange for favors, that comment raised a lot of eyebrows. People couldn't help but wonder, was Bow Wow hinting at something deeper? Was he simply a participant in these infamous parties, or even worse, one of the victims? The fact that he kept emphasizing how different things feel without Diddy around only added more fuel to the already raging fire.
We see like Bow Wow say that he is upset, or he feels a way that there's no more Diddy parties. Like he's like almost like he's feeling for the Diddy parties. Like, man, it ain't going down like it was.
If you've been following Bow Wow's career from the very beginning, you probably know how he got his big break. At just 6 years old, Snoop Dogg discovered his talent and gave him the name Lil Bow Wow. Snoop even brought him on tour, giving the young star a front-row seat to the fast-paced world of hip-hop. However, things took a dramatic turn when Snoop left Death Row Records. With the label caught up in violent turmoil and Snoop moving on, he had to figure out what to do with young Bow Wow's burgeoning career.
Tell him your name.
Bow Wow.
This is Bow Wow. Y'all hear that? Can y'all hear it? Yes. He's the future. He's a rapper too. He gonna drop and y'all go out and grab his stuff soon. We're gonna do this intro, okay? This is a comedian. You like comics? Cool.
My little nephew, Lil Bow Wow, was in the video.
Should have kept the plastic on. And this.
We met him at a concert we had did in Ohio.
Job.
My DJ seen him in the audience. Pulled him backstage. He came backstage. He rapped. And after he rapped, he sounded so much like me. I was like, man, you Lil Bow Wow.
Enter So Def CEO Jermaine Dupri. Not wanting Bow Wow to get caught up in the chaos at Death Row Records, Snoop handed him over to Jermaine Dupri, who wasted no time signing him to So Def. Under Dupri's guidance, Bow Wow's career skyrocketed. He became one of the youngest rap artists to dominate the charts with hit songs and even ventured into acting. On the surface, everything seemed perfect. But now, with Jermaine Dupri being dragged into Diddy's alleged Freakoffs scandals, people are starting to question whether there was more to Bow Wow's time at So Def than we ever knew. To make matters worse, rumors are swirling that Dupri didn't just help Bow Wow with his career. He might have introduced him to the darker side of the industry. Allegedly, Jermaine Dupri was a regular at Diddy's infamous parties, and some sources claim Bow Wow was often taken to these events. If true, this would mean Bow Wow was exposed to this wild and questionable lifestyle while he was still a young child.
This is love right here at the table right here, man. Listen, 20-something years of love right here. Like, before I had kids, you was my son. And that's just what it is. It's the same with JD. I seen how he raised you. Like, he put his career on pause for you. Know that.
Legend has it that Jermaine Dupri wasn't just a mentor to Bow Wow. He allegedly introduced him to a side of the industry no child should ever experience. But that's not all. Rumors circulating on the streets claim that Dupri not only took advantage of Bow Wow himself, but also passed him around to other industry heavyweights, including, you guessed it, Diddy. The story is deeply disturbing, and if these allegations are true, they paint a chilling picture of what Bow Wow may have endured while growing up in the spotlight.
I never really experienced that shit before. Like, and you know, I can only go by my life. You know what I'm saying? This is me talking about me. You know, I live in Atlanta, Georgia. I've been living in Atlanta my whole life, damn near, for over 20 years, you know, and, you know.
But Jermaine Dupri's alleged shady past doesn't end with Bow Wow. Let's talk about the late Chris Kelly, one half of the iconic duo Criss Cross. You remember their hit song, Jump Jump. Jermaine Dupri discovered the duo when they were just 12 years old, and they quickly became household names in the early 90s. On the surface, it seemed like Dupri was simply nurturing young talent. However, rumors suggest there was a much darker side to their relationship. After Chris Kelly tragically passed away in 2013 from an overdose, speculation began to swirl that his struggles with substance abuse may have been rooted in trauma from his time under Dupri's mentorship. Many believe that the horrific experiences Chris allegedly endured while working with Dupri played a significant role in his downward spiral, casting a shadow over the legacy of their once glorious partnership.
He passes at a relatively young age. Was it 30-something?
Yeah, I think so.
Did you see that coming at all? Were you guys still in contact?
No, I didn't. I mean, I didn't see that coming. We was in I mean, we had just did the 20th anniversary, so it was like, we had just started.
To make matters even worse, when news of Chris Kelly's death broke, Jermaine Dupri went on a PR campaign, acting as though he was the most heartbroken person on the planet. He even released an emotional statement, calling Chris his son and claiming he would always love him. Initially, people believed him, until he appeared in a Vlad TV interview where his comments about Chris raised serious suspicions. Dupri struggled to keep his story straight, and even fumbled over Chris's name, coming off as insincere rather than genuinely grief-stricken. His behavior only fueled the rumors about what might have really happened behind closed doors. And let's not forget Cat Williams. He wasn't just making random accusations. He was dead serious when he called out both Diddy and Jermaine Dupri for their alleged behavior. At the time, people dismissed Cat as crazy or bitter. But as more stories surface, it's becoming increasingly clear that he might have been onto something. In reality, Cat may have been one of the few brave enough to speak out against the powerful figures running the industry.
Jermaine Dupri, king of the pedophiles, if you ask me, baby. Shit. Jermaine Dupri, small as a child. If I was fucking Janet, y'all get it out of the child.
To make matters worse, Jermaine Dupri's past isn't just being scrutinized because of Bow Wow or Criss Cross. His name has also come up in connection with Diddy's infamous Freakoffs. With Diddy now facing serious allegations and more victims stepping forward, many are questioning whether Dupri could be next on the chopping block. After all, Dupri and Diddy were known to roll together hard back in the day, often seen partying side by side. If Dupri was truly involved in those wild events, it might only be a matter of time before someone steps forward with receipts, further unraveling this already explosive situation.
You gotta get people to start thinking that Bow Wow is grown.
Yes.
Yeah, you in the shell, yo. You gotta come out that shell.
I'm definitely not.
Nah, yes, you are.
Why you be hating on my... Come on, man. You know I got this. It's my turn.
Here's the shady part I need your opinion on. While Jermaine Dupri publicly acted heartbroken over Chris Kelly's passing, some fans believe it was nothing more than a performance to save face. Why? Because according to resurfaced comments, there was reportedly some serious bad blood between Jermaine and Chris before his death. One fan even went so far as to accuse Jermaine of trying to cover up the fact that Chris had once sued him. The fan claimed the lawsuit was tied to allegations of misconduct and that Chris and his family had won the case, though it was allegedly kept quiet from the public. Of course, Jermaine Dupri wasn't about to let those accusations slide. He clapped back at the fan and even threatened to sue the page that posted the comment, further fueling speculation about what really happened between him and Chris Kelly.
So go back. So once I said Chris was watching Ice Cube and this, that, and third, and Chris went to Bunch Middle School, right? And I would pick. Once I became close with them, they didn't want their mamas to pick them up no more. It was Jermaine pick us up from school.
But that's not all. Fans weren't convinced by Dupri's response. After all, there are simply too many stories about his involvement with young boys in the industry to dismiss these claims so easily. Whether it was Bow Wow, Criss Cross, or other young artists, Jermaine Dupri's mentorship raises serious questions. People can't help but wonder if there's more to this so-called mentorship than meets the eye. And speaking of questionable behavior, let's talk about the viral clip that recently started making the rounds. In the video, a former bodyguard from the infamous Tunnel nightclub spilled some tea about an incident involving Bow Wow. According to the bodyguard, Bow Wow, who was just 15 or 16 at the time, was preyed upon by a much older woman during a party.
That big booty Puerto Rican chick from Newark, New Jersey, by Broad Street in the projects. You know who I'm talking about. You know what you did with Bow Wow. Why you gonna rape that little nigga? You know he was only 15, 16 when he came up in this motherfucker. Why you gonna do that to the man?
So you might be wondering, where was Jermaine Dupri in all of this? Well, that's exactly the problem. Instead of protecting Bow Wow, Dupri allegedly turned a blind eye to the entire situation. And that's not even the worst part. There are rumors that Dupri actually encouraged Bow Wow to embrace this kind of lifestyle at an early age, which, if true, could explain a lot about why Bow Wow ended up in so many wild situations later in life. If you thought Dupri's past actions were already questionable, it gets even worse. In a recently resurfaced video, Dupri can be seen proudly boasting about taking a young Bow Wow to clubs and exposing him to things far beyond what any kid his age should have been dealing with. Instead of being a mentor who shielded Bow Wow from the darker side of the industry, Jermaine Dupri seemed to revel in introducing him to a world meant for grown adults.
End of the day, it's like, I challenge Bow Wow. I say, yo.
But that's not all. Fans were shocked by how nonchalant Jermaine Dupri was when speaking about it, as if exposing a child to such an environment was something to brag about. This resurfaced clip has reignited concerns about Dupri's role in shaping Bow Wow's early years in the industry. After all, Bow Wow was just a teenager when he was placed in these situations, and as his mentor, Jermaine should have known better. And just when we thought things couldn't get messier, the infamous limo incident surfaces again. Rumors have been swirling for years that Bow Wow was taken advantage of by a male bodyguard in Jermaine's limo during his early career days. While Bow Wow has publicly denied these allegations, fans couldn't help but notice how carefully he chose his words when discussing the incident. It almost felt like he was holding something back, maybe out of fear of industry pressure or for other reasons.
There's been the crazy rumor that you got raped by your security guard.
That's fucking ridiculous. That's crazy.
You've heard that before.
Yeah, that was like the first rumor that ever had came out.
Some fans believe that Bow Wow's denial was less about clearing the air and more about trying to avoid drawing attention to something he'd rather not discuss. He appeared visibly uncomfortable when fans commented on his response. It almost seemed like he wanted to say more, but couldn't. What makes this even more troubling is the pattern of silence surrounding these allegations. Just like in the case of Chris Cross, Jermaine Dupri seems to have a way of ensuring that these stories don't fully come to light, whether it's through legal threats or simple industry pressure. Many believe Dupri has done everything in his power to keep these troubling stories under wraps. Bow Wow's reluctance to openly speak about the limo incident only adds fuel to the fire. Was it just an unfortunate rumor, or is there more to the story than Bow Wow is willing or allowed to say? Whatever the truth is, the fact that so many young artists under Jermaine Dupri's mentorship have faced similar rumors paints a deeply disturbing picture. Things took an even darker turn when Bow Wow's ex-girlfriend, Erica Mena, exposed just how deeply he was affected by his experiences in the industry. Erica didn't hold back, revealing that Bow Wow carried a lot of unresolved emotional scars, which often manifested as anger issues. According to her, not only was Bow Wow dealing with these emotional wounds, but he also took out his frustrations on those closest to him, including her.
When it was great, it was great. And then it was completely bad. When you finally get to know someone, that's when you really have to reevaluate, and people just have certain demons that they have to deal with. I have my own, and
now we've seen this pattern with others who are alleged victims of industry exploitation. When someone goes through traumatic experiences like that, especially at a young age, they often struggle to process it in healthy ways. For some, this leads to turning to substances or alcohol, while others lash out at the people closest to them. While this doesn't justify Bow Wow's behavior, it does shed light on how deep his pain might run and the lasting impact of those early experiences in the industry.
When things behind closed doors become healthy for him, I really hope he does get the best out of life, because everybody does.
But that's not all. Bow Wow's story isn't unique. In fact, it eerily mirrors the experience of another former child star, Orlando Brown. Orlando started out as a shining star, landing lead roles in several Disney movies. He was talented, charismatic, and could sing like no other. It seemed like he was destined for a bright future in Hollywood. However, just like Bow Wow, his promising career was derailed when things took a turn for the worse.
Got good pussy. That's all I can tell you. What the fuck?
Okay.
Rumors have been circulating that Orlando Brown was also preyed upon by powerful figures in the industry, including none other than Diddy. Over the years, Orlando has made some shocking claims about what went down behind the scenes. While some have dismissed him as being unstable or on something, others believe his erratic behavior is a direct result of the trauma he endured. As if things weren't already messy enough, Orlando Brown took things to a whole new level when he made a jaw-dropping claim about having X-rated relations with Bow Wow during an interview. The internet went wild after Orlando casually dropped the bomb, leaving fans both confused and disturbed. While many brushed it off as just another one of Orlando's bizarre antics and outbursts, there's a much deeper layer to this story, one that's far more unsettling.
Bow Wow's. No, I was no.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about That's So Raven. Like on the set.
It's the same thing.
What was the remember
Okay,
market?
everybody, Bow Wow was Raven.
Huh?
And this is where things get even darker. Allegedly, these encounters weren't something Orlando or Bow Wow sought out on their own. Rumors are swirling that Jermaine Dupri played a key role in coercing Bow Wow into these situations, while Diddy allegedly did the same to Orlando when they were both just young stars. According to insiders, these powerful figures took advantage of their influence to exploit these boys, all while pretending to mentor them in the industry. The similarities between Bow Wow and Orlando Brown highlight a disturbing pattern in the entertainment world. Both started off as young talents with the world of opportunity ahead of them, but both ended up dealing with trauma and struggling to maintain their mental health. They've both hinted at darker things happening behind the scenes, involving some of the most powerful names in the business. It's hard to ignore the parallels here, whether it's Bow Wow's anger issues or Orlando's public breakdowns. It seems the entertainment industry has a way of breaking down these young stars instead of protecting them. Fans have started piecing together these stories, pointing out that this isn't just a coincidence, it's a recurring issue that's been swept under the rug for far too long. So, what do y'all think about this? Did Jermaine Dupri and Diddy really have a hand in exposing young stars like Bow Wow and Orlando to such a dark side of the industry? Could Orlando's wild claims actually be rooted in truth, or is it just another one of his bizarre moments? And with all these receipts coming out, do you think more hidden secrets about these infamous freak-offs will be revealed soon? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to smash that like button and hit subscribe for more juicy stories about the latest hip-hop beefs.